we're getting closer to having a complete and polished Zombie Toys project. This character selection screen will allow the player to choose between the boy player character and the girl player character. Here I have the Zombie Toys project in the state it will be in when this chapter is complete. Let's take a look at the completed character selection system so we can identify the things we're going to need to change and implement to make it work. We'll first notice when I press play that we now have two characters. And these characters are immobilized. They're not currently activated. They won't look at the mouse and they can't move around. We'll also notice a spotlight following my mouse cursor around. This spotlight helps us determine which character we're going to select. We'll also notice that no enemies are spawning. Until we select our player, the game manager knows not to allow any enemies to spawn, so we have time to make our decision. Once we've selected a player character, we'll notice the camera plays an animation to transition from this character selection position to our gameplay position. We can also see that the other character disappears through the floor. Now that our character is selected, control is returned to us and we can play the game as normal. Enemies will spawn, and when we're defeated, we'll return back to the character selection screen. In order to implement this system, we're going to need to add a behavior to the player that will identify when it's been selected and let the game manager know. We'll also need to modify the game manager so that it doesn't allow any enemies to spawn until our player is selected. Obviously, in order to have a player character selection screen, we need to have more than one player character option. So we're going to add a second player character, this time the girl player character. When the mechanics of our player character selection screen is fully implemented, we're going to modify the camera. We're going to finalize it with some behaviors and an animation that will transition it from our character selection screen to our gameplay.